All right, so I was thinking about the idea of, or as more of like what your input would be on starting up like a food truck. Would that be something you would think would be interesting to try, or does that sound like crazy, or
Working as in the fucking food truck.
meals or plates or dishes out out the thing, and as like a business?
I don't know, it might be tough. How the
What?
fuck I'm getting myself a truck?
Yeah, true. We're gonna get truck. Um, I don't even know where in the world would people get trucks? Because what I noticed was that in my city, Charlotte here, nobody even had that as an idea of selling food out of truck until maybe about not even 10 years ago, probably less than that. Because they started popping up randomly, kind of like in our city center, and it was sort of like no one really paid attention, and it was kind of like when people open up like a little booth to sell hot dogs and whatever. But then we started getting like freaking notifications on the news and on TV that freaking the food trucks were getting onto, and the ones in our city getting onto places like Food Network, the Food Channel, uh, freaking celebrity chefs were coming over to our city to take a look at these food trucks. And they had mainly the ones they were talking about were either like Mexican or Latin. Like they had this one kind of like uh, Mexican American style food, but they call it like papi queso. And all they did was like make grilled cheese out of the truck, but it was like high end grilled cheese. Like they were putting in truffle mushrooms into it. Um, oh god, maybe I can pull up their menu now that I think about it. Um, yeah, now it's a sandwich shop, and you can go to their place now. Um, but literally, they had a freaking fleet of these food trucks. Papi Queso was one of the ones they showcased on the Food Network, um, and they have all kinds of recipes like a play on the Big Mac. They call it the Pig Mac, and it's basically thinking about the idea because I have a bunch of neighbors and a bunch of people who've been coming over to Charlotte or moving to Charlotte who are like Eastern European, uh, either in or Eastern Europe or kind of like Central Asia, and everybody has these like recipes. But what they've been doing is instead of getting like a food truck, is that they're selling like little dishes or plates or things through Facebook, and basically they making food out of their kitchen and trying to sell it through Facebook, which is too crazy, kind of hectic, because everyone's competing to get people to buy their food, and because it's all in like the same Facebook groups, it's become like a battle of who can sell what for the cheaper price, and it switched to like, all right, no one wants to be making the food no more because they can't sell it for a good price. Um, and plus, everybody's got their own issues, like oh, I work, I don't know where I'm gonna be making the food and all that. And then I was thinking, well, could that be something to do? Make try to make foods of new concepts or maybe new I don't know, areas that people don't really usually go to or try. And I figured, well, let's how do you make a quick menu? How big is a menu? How much stuff should you have, and how do you make it simple and easy for people to read? And I started going through like all these articles about how much what makes sense and what doesn't. So I was thinking, so how long did you say your dad's been like a chef or a cook?
More than 20 years.
Oh, so he has plenty of. I imagine he has plenty of experience, or is he just kind of uh stuck with like what he's been working at?
Hmm?
Well, would you say that your dad has a bunch of?
As a headshot, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure, because I mean, even now, because I'm just thinking, because I worked like what 4 years Yeah, because my first 4 years of working in kitchens, um, and I feel like a lot of these, like even this freaking like the grilled cheese stuff. That's a lot of it's so simple to do. You just have to have the right ingredients and the right prep work. And there's people who are making a lot of good money on that, and I'm just wondering, is that something that makes sense to look at? Uh, I guess what I have to try to do now is come up with recipes and freaking food ideas and make what they call media, which is like your photos and videos and all that. Um, but I have a feeling that that could possibly work out if done correctly. And I don't know, it may be just a crazy idea I have in my head for if anything, but I just thought it was something interesting. But the other thing I was going to ask you, you started telling me that Father's Day was crazy, it was hectic. What happened Father's Day?
It was fucking busy. The fuck.
I mean, like, was it
Obviously, a lot of customers gonna come in too.
what they call it? You've heard of the term of a slam shift, where you come in and it's just non-stop craziness the whole shift until you clock out. I don't know if you've heard of that term before, but
Mm.
basically you walk in and it's like a freaking mirage. You just like a blur trying to get through everything, and what everybody uh almost like trampling over each other trying to get everything done. Kind of
Yeah, I
like
may have heard before.
yeah, it becomes a madhouse. I had that basically anytime I worked at the movie theater. God, especially like when they come out with a brand new like hot movie at the end of the week. Like Friday comes out. Let's just say I think Star Wars was like the first one I ever came out with, because when it's the new Star Wars movies come out, whenever that first one came out, that was crazy. We had nonstop people coming in, and I think when did it release? Like